This is part 1 video on drag force measurement experiment. So as you can see, the equipment consists of different parts and tools. Here we are trying to identify all the different parts and how the process is taking place. So starting from the left side, here you have a switch to open and close the fan. I position is open and O position is closed for the fan, and then a knob here to increase and decrease the fan speed. Through the grill we could see the fan, so the air is drawn in and is blown through the other side. So the fan inside this chamber. Then we have drag force measuring gauge here, starting from 0, and it can measure until 0.6 Newton. Then we have the manometer. A red colored fluid inside will rise and fall through that tube, corresponding to which you could read the pressure values. In the bottom scale, pressure represented in Pascal. Top scale, you have velocity values. These are calculated using the formula that you obtain from the Bernoulli equation, and the calculated values for velocity corresponding to any pressure is represented on the top scale, and the unit is meter per second. So wherever the fluid stops, you could directly read the pressure and at the same time velocity values. Then here you have a pitot probe for measuring the dynamic pressure. You have two tubes connected to each other, and one tube will give you the total pressure, the other tube measures the static pressure. So we have total pressure tube here connected left side, static pressure tube on the right side. So at the end we get the difference between them, delta P, P total minus P static, so we get dynamic pressure. The reading that we obtain here is dynamic pressure. Then at the middle here we have a hook where we can suspend the specimen on which we want to measure the drag force. So currently you could see one disc attached there. Here are the three different diameter discs that we are going to use for the experiment, and we will measure the drag force on each of these three discs. So you have a small disc, you have a medium disc, and you have a big diameter disc. So we see the effect of cross-sectional area on the drag force, and also the influence of flow velocity on the drag force. Now how the process takes place: we will start the fan, and then at a constant speed for the fan, the air is drawn in, blows out through the other side. The pitot static tube measures the dynamic pressure, and then the air coming out of this side hits this surface and exerts some opposing force, which we call it as drag force. That force is going to be measured by means of this force gauge, and the corresponding air velocity and dynamic pressure will be read using this manometer. So that is all about part 1. We look into data collection in part number 2.